Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to World War II In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Waffe 28 submachine gun, one of my personal favorites from the game, a very fun gun to use, and a surprisingly niche weapon. It can be good in some hands and terrible in others. You will see some hardcore gameplay in today's video. I played a couple of rounds with Tyven Show, so we're doing hardcore domination. That's what we're doing when the HUD goes away. And the Waffe 28 is pretty good in hardcore because it shoots so incredibly fast. Type 100 is probably a better SMG in that game, but it works pretty well. Let's talk about the damage first today. It'll deal 30 damage up close, decreasing to 22 at medium range, and then finally down to 19 at a distance. That means it could take 4, 5, or 6 shots to kill, depending on how far away your enemies are, and that is actually the lowest in the game. 4 to 6 is pretty average for the amount of shots to kill a submachine gun will take to kill. However, the raw damage numbers are the lowest, and once we talk about range and stuff, you'll see that it is overall lowest damage over range. Headshot damage is 1.1x, which is helpful at long ranges, but only if you're getting multiple headshots. You'd actually need to shoot somebody in the head 3 times at long range for this to get you 1 less shot to kill. So I'm gonna say not very useful, really wouldn't go for it, but if a player is weak or recovering or something like that, it may make a difference. The 4-shot kill range is a pitiful 6 meters. That's one of the lowest ranges that we're even gonna be discussing on In Depth. That is a range where you could almost reach out and slap somebody. For Americans, that's a little bit over 5 yards away, and the 5-shot kill range is 15 meters. Anything after 15 is going to be 6 shots to kill, which means outside of shotgun range, you are going to be dealing minimum damage with the Waffe. It has the lowest overall range of all submachine guns. However, it does have an extremely fast rate of fire of 1,000 rounds per minute. When you put rapid fire on it, it goes up to just shy of 1,100 at 1075 rounds per minute. This is significantly nerfed from the beta. It was way faster. It was closer to 1,200 rounds per minute in the beta, so they scaled back the Waffe because the gun was too strong, but it still shoots really, really fast, and that is the true strength of the weapon. It is just a rapid fire bullet hose. So with these statistics, up close time to kill is god tier. Pretty much nothing in the game is going to beat your close range time to kill except for a shotgun. And your long range time to kill is surprisingly good and competitive as well. It's mathematically speaking slightly lesser than most of the other submachine guns, but I do mean incredibly very slightly, to the point where I would say they are essentially the same. However, this requires that you don't miss any shots. If you want to get good time to kill, you can't be missing any shots, and with the Waffe, all I can tell you is good luck with that. It shoots so quickly, it kicks so hard, it sprays so much, you're going to miss shots, so your functional time to kill is probably going to be a lot less than this theoretical one, but close to medium range, still very, very good. The iron sights work within the optimal range of this submachine gun. I don't want to say they're good iron sights, they're a little bit obstructive for me, but they're okay. They're kind of like medium tier iron sights, but you really shouldn't be using this gun at long ranges, and at the ranges that you're going to want to use it, you should be able to hit people with almost any iron sights. And because of what I'm going to recommend later on, there's almost no reason to use any optical attachments. You have to be so close to somebody and use this kind of like an alternative shotgun that running a lens sight or a reflex sight really isn't going to help you do a whole lot, so I don't recommend running any optical attachments at all. The Waffe 28 has tight hipfire like most of the submachine guns, and hipfire is god tier with steady aim. The tightness of it is no different than any other. However, it shoots so fast and puts so many bullets downstream, and steady aim tightens it up into a pretty nice little box that it's just designed to be hipfired. It is the hipfire weapon in the game, and that's what I'm going to strongly recommend you run on it, is steady aim, because you don't even need to aim down sights, and you can react and spray pretty quickly, and you catch a lot of people off guard, and I have a lot of fun doing that. Recoil is extremely high. This may be the highest recoil in the entire game. It's going to kick up, it's going to kick to the left, it's going to kick to the right, it's going to kick unpredictably, it's going to kick, its kick is going to kick. Everything about this gun is going to be difficult to control. However, I find that it shoots so fast, it's kind of easy to control. It should be hard to control, and it is hard to control, but in this weird, crazy sort of way, I find that if you aim down sights and you get your first shots on, it's going to shoot so many bullets so fast that you'll kill somebody before the recoil becomes significant. That's the best way I can describe this, is that I don't have that hard of a time with it because I try very hard to get my first shots on, and it's kind of like the AN-94, the real life one, not the in-game one. It shoots so fast you don't really have time to compensate. I tend to aim knees and lower chest because it will kick up. However, that being said, if you snap onto somebody and your first shots start missing, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Don't shoot. You don't want to do like some guns are low recoil. You can shoot and compensate as you go and readjust. The Waffe 28 is not one of those. If you don't get your first shots on when you're aiming down sights, you are going to be on the struggle bus. Idle sway is high on this gun, but that's not going to matter because we're going to be using it close range because that's what it's made for. Magazine size is slightly larger than normal at 32. Extended mags is 48, which is quite nice in this game. And I use extended mags all the time, and I think it's a must-have for the Waffe 28. The gun shoots so fast, you'll dump your entire magazine out on one person accidentally. If you ever want to kill more than one person, if you ever want to get feeds or multi-kills or be a little bit more useful for your team, extended mags is a must. I like steady aim extended mags together, but I could dump steady aim anytime, and I just absolutely must have extended mags. Reload time is the exact same as the Type 100, which is very fast, 1.15 seconds normally, and 0.75 seconds with Hustle. That's just very fast reload time, so you have surprisingly little downtime, except for, well, the gun shoots really fast, so you'll be reloading it all the time. And statistically, functionally, like play-wise speaking, the Waffe 28 is basically the Skorpion Evo from Black Ops 2. It's designed to have a really fast rate of fire, which gives you a sort of forgiving time to kill when it comes to missing shots. And it's designed to be really brutal up close and trash at basically everything else. The niche being, if you get your first shots, it can be surprisingly good at long range. And the downsides being recoil, reload time, handling, and a lot of other kind of properties. But if you like the Skorpion Evo from Black Ops 2, then you're going to love the Waffe 28 because it's roughly the same gun with a new skin. And I think this is one of the best guns in the game for public matches. This is a gun that shoots so fast, it's easy to run up on people, dump a bunch of bullets downstream, and kind of blow them up and make them flinch all over the place before they can really react. It works incredibly well with steady aim, and steady aiming submachine guns works really well in public matches. This is like a rapid fire meme cannon. You can run around and hose people, you can react quick, you put a ton of bullets downstream, and it works really, really well. Again, it's one of my personal favorite submachine guns, and it's one of probably the next one that I'm going to use my permanent unlock on. I also think it pairs best with Airborne Division because you need the suppressor. Your range is already terrible, the suppressor doesn't hurt it that bad, and it keeps you off the radar. You don't really have the range to challenge people very well, so you need to flank, you need to shoot them in the side, and you need to come in at unusual angles. If you don't have the suppressor on the gun and you're just spraying this thing around and showing up on the radar, what's more likely to happen is somebody with an FG42 or a rifle or a grease gun is going to challenge you at long range, and you're going to have a bad time. So suppressor is the best. In theory, you can run it with anything, but Airborne works best for me. Now, recommendations for public matches is stuff that we've already gone over. Airborne for the suppressor. Hustle, I just like the downtime being reduced. I guess I could do something else. Extended mags and steady aim. This is my HIPFIRE suppressor silencer, run around, stay off the radar, flank, and spray people. You could also run flanker instead of hustle, or espionage, or primed if you want more attachments. It's not super essential, but I'm a hustle addict. When it comes to competitive matches, I wouldn't say it is the best gun for competitive. However, you could probably make it work, and the way I would do it is I would run it as an alternative shotgun, because right now competitive players are doing like gentlemen's agreements on shotguns, and I assume that shotguns will eventually be banned in the pro scene, so I would use it as a shotgun alternative. I would use it with armored and hustle, so that I could hold down on a point. Hustle, I think, is going to be very important for competitive so that you have minimal downtime. Still extended mags, but I wouldn't run steady aim, because steady aim is just not the thing for pro Call of Duty or competitive COD for the ranked playlist. You don't want to be doing that. I would run foregrip instead. Foregrip is not the world's most impactful attachment. I haven't done all the testing on it yet, but I would wager that it's about 7.5% less recoil like most of the other attachments in this game, and that will help you a little bit, because you're going to want to be aiming down sights and pre-aiming people, and you don't want to be kicking a whole lot. You don't want to be just recoiling all over the place, and that is my recommendation. I don't think it's it's a great recommendation, but some of you are going to do it anyway, so that's what I would do. Guys, that is all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. I hope you enjoyed the hardcore gameplay if you did. If you did enjoy that, let me know. I might do a little bit more of it in the future. And if there's stuff that you would like to know about guns that I haven't been covering, please let me know as well. And finally, there may be a delay on in-depth videos. I'm working on two very, very big high-level topics that take a lot more time and testing, so gun reviews might be on the back burner for a couple of days. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out. If you want all the weapon stats for World War II in your pocket to go, then look no further than the Ultimate Utility app by Brass Monkey. It's available on iOS and Android. There are links in the description, or you can just search for it in the App Store.